The message appeared on my phone like a quiet storm that had been building for years. I was sitting in my small apartment kitchen, the evening light fading outside the window when Mom's text popped up. Not to me, but the screenshot she sent me afterward told the whole story. "We're cutting all ties forever. Don't come around ever again." My heart stopped for a second. 20 years of complicated love, broken promises, and silent sacrifices all came crashing down in those few words. I stared at the screen, tears blurring my vision, feeling a strange mix of heartbreak and relief wash over me. Hi everyone, my name is Sophia, and this is the story of how my mother finally chose peace over pain, and how my sister's years of betrayal led to a moment none of us saw coming. I grew up in a modest home on the edge of town, where my mom raised my sister Lauren and me mostly on her own. Dad left when I was 5, leaving Mom to work long hours at the local clinic while trying to be everything for us. She was the strongest woman I knew, soft-spoken, kind-hearted, always putting everyone else first. Our house smelled like fresh bread on weekends and sounded like laughter when things were good. Lauren, being 3 years older, was the vibrant one. She had this magnetic energy that drew people in. Big smiles, big dreams, and a way of making you feel like you were part of something special. As kids, we were inseparable. We'd stay up late sharing secrets under the same blanket, promising we'd always protect each other. "Sisters forever," we'd whisper. But forever started to feel shorter as we grew up. BY high school. Lauren was the star. Cheerleading, parties, boyfriends who came and went like seasons. I was the studious one, the helper. I'd cover for her when she snuck out, make excuses to Mom when she missed curfew, and even do parts of her homework so she wouldn't get in trouble. I told myself it was what sisters do. I didn't mind the imbalance because I loved her. Mom poured everything into us. She skipped her own medical checkups to pay for Lauren's dance classes. She worked extra shifts so Lauren could have the trendy clothes she wanted. And when I needed new books for school, I often waited until Lauren got what she asked for first. But what I didn't know back then was how those small choices would plant seeds of resentment and entitlement that would grow into something much darker. After high school, Lauren moved to the city chasing modeling gigs and influencer dreams. She'd call home full of excitement about opportunities, asking Mom to send money for headshots or networking events. Mom always found a way, even when it meant stretching our grocery budget. I stayed closer to home, got a steady job in administration, and helped Mom with bills. I was happy in my quiet way, building a stable life. Then came the first real crack. When Mom had her health scare 5 years ago, a heart condition that required expensive medication and rest, I stepped up completely. I moved back in temporarily, cooked meals, drove her to appointments, and made sure she followed doctor's orders. Lauren? She sent a few sympathetic texts from whatever glamorous city she was in at the time and promised to visit soon. That visit never happened. Instead, she called asking for another loan because her big break fell through. Mom, even from her sickbed, wired the money. I remember biting my tongue so hard that night, not wanting to add stress to Mom's recovery. But what I didn't know that day was how deep the pattern went. Lauren wasn't just forgetful or busy. She was calculating. She had started telling mutual friends and distant relatives that I was too controlling with Mom's money and health decisions. That I was isolating her. She painted herself as the free-spirit daughter who was being held back by family drama. Those lies would come back to haunt all of us. Fast forward to last year. Mom's health stabilized, but money was tighter than ever. Lauren reappeared more frequently, always with a new crisis. A breakup, a bad investment, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that needed funding. Each time, she'd hug Mom tightly, cry about how much she missed us, and leave with what she came for. I started noticing the emotional toll on Mom. The sparkle in her eyes dimmed. She'd sit quietly after Lauren's visits, staring at old photos, wondering why her love never seemed enough. Then came the discovery that shattered everything I thought I knew about my sister. I was helping Mom organize her finances one afternoon when I found the hidden bank statements. Large transfers to Lauren that Mom never mentioned. Even more painful, messages where Lauren had pressured Mom to update her will, suggesting that I didn't need as much because I had a stable job while she was struggling creatively. My hands trembled as I read them. The sister I had defended, the one I had sacrificed for, had been quietly undermining me for years. She wasn't just taking advantage of Mom's kindness. She was trying to erase my place in the family. I sat with that pain for weeks, torn between confronting her and protecting Mom's fragile heart. Until that fateful evening when Mom made her decision. She had just gotten off a call with Lauren, who was once again asking for a significant sum. Mom looked exhausted, her shoulders heavy with the weight of unconditional love that had been tested too many times. "I can't keep doing this," she whispered to herself. Then she picked up her phone and typed the words that would change our family forever. The silence after Mom sent that text was deafening. For the first few hours, nothing happened. I stayed with Mom that night, making tea and sitting in the living room as the weight of her decision settled over us both. She cried quietly, not out of regret, but out of deep sorrow for the daughter she had tried so hard to save. Lauren's response came the next morning, a flood of calls and emotional voicemails. "Mom, how could you do this to me? After everything?" Her voice cracked with the same practiced hurt she had used for years. I listened to one of them on speaker, my stomach twisting. But this time Mom didn't pick up. She simply stared at the phone, tears rolling down her cheeks, and said, "I've given her my whole heart, Sophia, and she's broken it too many times." That's when the full scope of the betrayal started unfolding. Over the following days, more truths came to light. Relatives reached out to me privately, sharing stories they had kept quiet out of loyalty. Lauren had borrowed money from cousins and never repaid it, spinning tales about family favoritism toward me. She had even tried to turn one of Mom's close friends against us by claiming we were emotionally abusive. Each revelation felt like a fresh wound. How had I been so blind? I replayed years of memories, seeing now the manipulation behind the charm. The time she'd show up with gifts only when she needed something bigger in return. The way she dismissed my contributions to the family as just what you do. My emotional struggle during those weeks was intense. I felt anger bubbling beneath the sadness. Anger at Lauren for her selfishness. Anger at myself for enabling it for so long. Nights were the hardest. I'd lie awake wondering if family bonds were supposed to hurt this much. Mom wasn't eating well. The house felt heavier, filled with ghosts of happier times. But in that pain, something began to shift inside me. I started journaling my feelings, going for long walks to clear my head, and even suggested we both speak to a counselor. For the first time, I voiced boundaries I had been afraid to set before. "Mom," I told her one evening, holding her hands, "we deserve peace. We've given enough." She nodded slowly, and I saw a quiet strength returning to her eyes. Lauren didn't stop easily. She showed up at the house one rainy afternoon, drenched and dramatic, begging for forgiveness. "I've changed, Mom. Please don't do this." She looked at me with accusing eyes, as if I had orchestrated everything. Mom listened patiently, then spoke with a calm I'll never forget. "I love you, Lauren. But love shouldn't destroy me. I need to protect what's left of my heart, and Sophia's too." The door closed that day with a gentleness that carried more finality than any shout ever could. In the aftermath, I felt myself transforming. The quiet, accommodating sister I once was began to fade. In her place emerged a woman who valued her worth, who understood that protecting your peace isn't betrayal. It's survival. I focused on rebuilding, taking Mom on small outings, redecorating the house with lighter colors, and creating new traditions that didn't revolve around waiting for the next crisis. The betrayal had broken us, but it was also mending us in unexpected ways. The real justice wasn't loud or vengeful. It came in the quiet consequences Lauren now had to face. She tried everything in the months that followed. Public social media posts hinting at family abandonment, messages through mutual friends, even a surprise letter full of childhood memories designed to guilt us. But the boundary Mom had set held firm. Slowly, the circle of people who once enabled her behavior started to see the pattern. Invitations to family events stopped coming her way. The easy support she had relied on for years dried up. I didn't rejoice in her struggles. That's not the kind of person I want to be. But I did feel a profound sense of balance being restored. For every tear Mom had shed, for every sacrifice I had made in silence, this moment of clarity felt like overdue justice. One beautiful spring afternoon, Mom and I drove to the countryside where we used to picnic as kids. We spread a blanket under an old oak tree, and she turned to me with peaceful eyes. "Thank you for standing by me, Sophia. You showed me that real love doesn't ask you to destroy yourself." Those words wrapped around my heart like healing balm. We laughed, cried, and talked about the future. Travels we wanted to take, hobbies we'd neglected, dreams that were finally ours to pursue without guilt. Lauren still reaches out occasionally, her messages growing less frequent and more reflective. Perhaps she's beginning to understand the depth of what she lost. Or perhaps not. Either way, that's her journey now, not ours. Our home today feels lighter. The constant anxiety of the next request or emotional outburst is gone. In its place is genuine connection, honest conversations, and a mother-daughter bond that has grown even stronger through the pain. If there's one lesson I want to leave you with, it's this. Family should lift you up, not constantly break you down. Sometimes the most loving act is drawing a line and saying enough. Cutting ties doesn't mean you stop caring entirely. It means you choose to stop letting that care destroy your peace. To anyone listening who is carrying similar pain, a sibling who takes without giving, a family member who drains your spirit, please know you're allowed to choose yourself. Your heart deserves protection. Healing begins when you stop pouring from an empty cup. Thank you for walking through this emotional journey with me. If this story touched you, share your own experiences in the comments. You are stronger than you know. Until next time, hold your peace close. It's the greatest revenge of all.